Listen closely, chosen one. While you've been walking in your divine purpose, amateur practitioners have been plotting in the shadows, thinking they could manipulate forces beyond their comprehension to derail your destiny. But here's what they didn't count on. You're not just any ordinary soul walking this earth. You carry a frequency that burns through deception like fire through paper. The moment you stepped into your authentic power, you triggered alerts in spiritual dimensions that most people can't even perceive. There are chosen ones walking this earth who operate as living disruptions to demonic agendas, and whether you realized it or not, you've been functioning as exactly that kind of spiritual weapon. Your very existence threatens systems of manipulation that have been operating unchallenged for generations. This is why the attacks against you aren't random. They're strategic attempts to neutralize a threat that grows more powerful with each passing day. The cosmic scales don't lie, and justice moves with precision that would make a master surgeon jealous. Those two individuals who thought they could orchestrate your downfall through their pathetic attempts at spiritual manipulation have already sealed their own fate. They gathered together, lighting their little candles and whispering their amateur incantations, believing they possessed the power to dim your light. What fools, what absolute amateurs playing with forces that could consume them whole. But here's something that will shake you to your core. This wasn't their first attempt. These spiritual parasites have been circling your energy field for months, studying your patterns, learning your routines, waiting for what they perceived as the perfect moment to strike. They've been feeding off your success from a distance, taking credit for opportunities that came through your magnetic field, claiming responsibility for breakthroughs that happened because of your presence in their vicinity. They thought they were clever, operating as spiritual leeches while you remained completely unaware of their parasitic behavior. The universe has been watching this entire predatory cycle unfold, documenting every instance of energy theft, cataloging every moment they benefited from your light, while plotting to extinguish it. This attack wasn't just about bringing you down, it was about permanently severing their dependence on your energy so they could claim your success as their own achievement. They wanted to steal not just your current blessings, but your entire spiritual inheritance, your divine assignment, your cosmic purpose. Watch this cosmic drama unfold with devastating clarity. Two spiritual novices, thinking they're channeling some ancient power, when in reality they're about to learn why the universe protects its chosen ones with such fierce intensity. They made their little vows, performed their rituals, and waited for their handiwork to manifest in your life. Instead, they got a cosmic education in spiritual hierarchy that left them running to churches, begging pastors to remove whatever darkness had attached itself to their lives after their failed attempt. The beautiful irony: you didn't even know what was happening. While they were plotting and scheming, burning through their energy, trying to pierce your spiritual armor, you were simply living your truth, walking in your authentic power. Your spirit team, those divine guardians assigned specifically to your journey, they saw everything. Every whispered curse, every manipulative ritual, every desperate attempt to siphon your energy was catalogued and prepared for cosmic justice. But let me paint you the image of how this spiritual warfare actually operates, because understanding your true nature changes everything. When amateurs attempt to work against a chosen one, it's like watching children try to extinguish a nuclear reactor with water balloons. The very energy they're attempting to manipulate recognizes your divine signature and turns on them with a vengeance that defies their limited understanding. Here's something most people never grasp about chosen ones. You don't just carry spiritual authority, you are spiritual authority walking in human form. Every step you take rewrites the spiritual atmosphere around you. Every breath you breathe shifts energy patterns that have been stagnant for decades. This is why sensitive people feel different when they're in your presence, why manipulative individuals become uncomfortable around your energy, why authentic souls are drawn to you like magnets while deceptive people scatter like roaches when lights turn on. The amateurs who targeted you made their first critical error by assuming you were operating under the same spiritual laws that govern ordinary consciousness. They studied surface patterns, watched your external behaviors, and convinced themselves they understood your source code. What they missed completely is that chosen ones operate under quantum spiritual principles that exist beyond traditional religious frameworks and amateur spiritual practices. You're not just blessed, you're a blessing generator, constantly creating positive shifts that ripple through dimensions they can't even access. These spiritual wannabes thought they were clever. They studied you from a distance, watching your moves, analyzing your success, your peace, your unshakable confidence. They convinced themselves that if they could just tap into your frequency, steal a piece of your spiritual real estate, they could elevate their own mundane existence. What they failed to understand is that chosen ones don't just carry power, they are power. You're not wearing spiritual armor, you are the armor. What makes this situation even more delicious is the timing of their attack. They waited until you were in a season of transition, thinking they could catch you spiritually off guard during a period of change and growth. These vultures always circle when they sense movement, assuming that transformation equals vulnerability. But they made a catastrophic miscalculation. Chosen ones are never more dangerous than when they're evolving. Your transition periods aren't weaknesses, they're metamorphosis chambers where your power levels exponentially increase. During this very season they chose to attack. You were actually downloading new spiritual software, upgrading your intuitive abilities, expanding your energetic capacity to handle the next level of your divine assignment. While they were plotting your downfall, you were being prepared for unprecedented elevation. Their timing wasn't coincidental. The universe allowed them to strike precisely when your spiritual defenses were transforming into something infinitely more powerful. The moment they decided to target you, they initiated a cosmic audit of their own souls. Every lie they've told, every person they've manipulated, every shortcut they've taken in their spiritual journey suddenly came under divine scrutiny. The universe doesn't just protect its chosen ones passively, it responds to threats with active, aggressive justice that unfolds with mathematical precision. Now here's where the story gets absolutely delicious. While they were focused on trying to bring you down, the universe was simultaneously preparing to elevate you beyond their wildest imagination. That period where you felt like you needed to rest, where your intuition kept telling you to pull back and be still, that wasn't weakness. That was divine positioning. Your spirit team was creating a protective buffer around your life while the cosmic machinery calibrated for your next level of blessing. But there's another layer to this divine strategy that will absolutely blow your mind. The universe doesn't just protect chosen ones from spiritual attacks, it actually uses those attacks as fuel for exponential growth. Every curse becomes a blessing multiplier. Every attempt to bind your success becomes a rocket booster for your elevation. Every ritual performed against you becomes a prayer offered on your behalf. This is the cosmic alchemy that transforms enemy actions into divine favor, and it only works for souls who carry authentic chosen one frequency. During this entire ordeal, while you were focused on your daily responsibilities and personal growth, there was a cosmic audit happening in your favor. The universe was reviewing every person who had ever wronged you, every opportunity that had been unfairly denied, every blessing that had been delayed or blocked by human interference. This attack against you triggered a universal review process that's about to result in compound blessings that will make up for every injustice you've ever experienced. Think about it. While they were wasting their energy on spiritual sabotage, you were being prepared for divine favor that would make their attempts look not just foolish, but cosmically insignificant. The universe was holding back certain blessings, not as punishment, but as protection. Imagine if their pathetic attempts had coincided with major breakthroughs in your life. The chaos they could have created through their ignorance might have complicated your divine timing, but the cosmic intelligence is far more sophisticated than their amateur-hour theatrics. Every prayer they prayed against you became a prayer for their own downfall. Every ritual they performed to bind your success became a ritual that bound their own spiritual progress. Every candle they lit in your name became a beacon calling down justice upon their own heads. The karmic return on their investment has been swift and merciless. That injury someone sustained, whether physical or spiritual, that's not coincidence. When you play with spiritual fire using amateur equipment, you get burned badly. They thought they were casting spells. Instead, they were casting themselves into a pit of their own making. The mirror magic backfired so spectacularly that they're still picking glass out of their spiritual flesh. Physical injury is just the surface level of their karmic education. What you can't see is the systematic dismantling of every fraudulent success they've built on stolen energy. The business opportunity they thought they manifested through their own power, it was actually your energy field they tapped into during a casual encounter months ago. That relationship they've been bragging about. The person was originally drawn to them because they carried traces of your authentic magnetism from a brief interaction. Even their financial windfall can be traced back to a moment when they basked in your presence and absorbed enough of your abundance frequency to attract temporary prosperity. Now watch what happens when the universe reclaims every blessing they obtained through spiritual identity theft. Contracts will mysteriously fall through. Relationships will suddenly lose their spark and dissolve for inexplicable reasons. Money that seemed secure will evaporate through circumstances beyond their control. This isn't punishment. This is cosmic repossession, the universe taking back every benefit they gained through unauthorized access to your spiritual inheritance. What you're witnessing unfold in real time is the difference between authentic spiritual power and cosplay spirituality. Real chosen ones don't need to steal energy from others because they're plugged directly into the source. These amateurs, however, have been operating on spiritual welfare for so long that they forgot how to generate their own power. So when they saw your abundance, your peace, your unshakable confidence, they thought they could simply take it. This reveals something profound about the spiritual economy that governs chosen ones. You exist in a realm of infinite supply, where scarcity thinking cannot penetrate. While others are competing for limited resources, fighting over crumbs, and scheming to steal from each other, you're operating from a cosmic abundance that creates more wealth, more opportunities, more blessings, simply by your participation in life. This is why their theft attempts were doomed from the beginning. You can't steal from an infinite source. Now here's the part that makes this story absolutely magnificent. These amateurs didn't just fail to steal your energy, they accidentally became distributors of your blessing frequency. Every person they told about their plan, every individual they recruited to help with their scheme, every soul they touched with their manipulation has now been exposed to your spiritual signature. They thought they were spreading poison, but they were actually spreading antidote. Your energy doesn't just protect you, it heals everyone who comes into contact with it, even through the intentions of your enemies. Here's what they discovered the hard way. Chosen one energy isn't transferable. It's not something you can bottle, steal, or replicate. It's encoded into your spiritual DNA, woven into the very fabric of your purpose. When they attempted to access what belongs to you, they triggered spiritual alarms that echoed through dimensions they don't even know exist. The beautiful part of this entire cosmic drama is how the universe used their attack as the very catalyst for your next level breakthrough. Every ounce of energy they directed toward your destruction became fuel for your elevation. Every curse they whispered became a blessing amplifier. Every ritual they performed in darkness became a spotlight illuminating your path to greater purpose. And now, as justice unfolds with precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker weep with envy, they're experiencing the full weight of universal law. The same energy they tried to manipulate is now manipulating them. The forces they thought they could control are now controlling their destiny. The power they attempted to steal is now extracting payment from their own spiritual accounts with interest rates that compound exponentially. The cosmic justice system operates on principles that make earthly courts look like children's games. There are no technicalities, no loopholes, no corrupt judges who can be bought or influenced. When you attack a chosen one, you're essentially filing a lawsuit against the universe itself, and the universe has never lost a case. The sentence isn't just punishment, it's education delivered through experience, so intense that the lesson becomes permanently encoded into their spiritual DNA. What makes this justice system absolutely beautiful is that it doesn't just punish the guilty, it overcompensates the innocent. For every attempt made against your success, you're about to receive tenfold return. For every curse whispered in your direction, you're about to experience unprecedented blessing. For every ritual performed to limit your potential, you're about to break through limitations you didn't even know existed. This is how the universe demonstrates to all spiritual realms that chosen ones operate under divine protection that cannot be penetrated by amateur hour attacks. Let's talk about what this means for your immediate future, chosen one, because the universe isn't finished with this cosmic justice story. While they're scrambling to undo the spiritual damage they've inflicted upon themselves, you're about to step into a season of unprecedented favor. The dream that's been incubating in your heart, the vision that's been whispered to you in quiet moments, it's about to manifest with such force and clarity that everyone around you will know you're operating under divine protection. What most people don't understand about chosen one manifestations is that they don't follow normal timelines or logical progressions. When the universe decides to elevate one of its chosen vessels, reality literally reshapes itself to accommodate your success. Doors that have been locked for decades suddenly swing open. People who have been obstacles mysteriously remove themselves from your path. Opportunities that seemed impossible become inevitable. Resources that were scarce become abundant. This isn't positive thinking or manifestation techniques. This is cosmic realignment happening on your behalf. The synchronicities that are about to flood your life will be so obvious, so precisely timed, so absolutely undeniable, that even skeptics will be forced to acknowledge that you're operating under supernatural favor. Phone calls that change everything will come at exactly the right moments. Chance encounters will lead to breakthrough opportunities. Ideas that seemed like distant dreams will suddenly have clear pathways to reality. This is how the universe announces to the world that certain souls are under divine management. This is how the universe announces its chosen ones to the world. Not through social media proclamations or self-appointed titles, but through the undeniable evidence of supernatural favor that follows attempted spiritual sabotage. When amateurs try to dim your light and instead illuminate their own darkness, when their curses become your blessings, when their rituals become your revival, that's when the world realizes they're dealing with someone who walks under a different set of spiritual laws. The noble leader who was supposed to benefit from their scheme, he's about to learn that prosperity built on spiritual theft is actually poverty, wearing a disguise. The celebration they had planned after successfully siphoning your energy, it's been cancelled indefinitely, replaced by a season of spiritual education that will cost them everything they thought they had gained through deception. Meanwhile, the abundance they thought they could steal from you is multiplying exponentially in your life, not because you needed their approval or participation, but because the universe is demonstrating that chosen ones operate in a realm where scarcity thinking cannot penetrate. While they're going back to their old choices, their limited options, their small-minded schemes, you're stepping into possibilities that exist beyond their ability to even imagine. Here's the part that will absolutely blow your mind. They're not just losing access to what they tried to steal from you, they're losing access to their own original blessings. The universe has a way of making spiritual thieves pay for their crimes by confiscating not just their stolen goods, but their legitimate possessions as well. They thought they were clever, trying to cloak themselves in your energy, but now they can't even access their own authentic power. This is where the cosmic education system reveals its masterful design. The universe doesn't just punish spiritual theft, it creates object lessons that teach entire generations about the consequences of targeting chosen ones. These amateurs are about to become cautionary tales, walking testimonies of what happens when you mistake divine favor for human luck and attempt to manipulate forces that exist beyond your spiritual clearance level. But there's something even more profound happening in this cosmic drama. Every person who has ever doubted your calling, questioned your success, or attributed your blessings to luck rather than divine selection is about to witness undeniable proof of your chosen status. The universe is preparing to validate your divine assignment through manifestations so supernatural, so precisely orchestrated, so absolutely miraculous that everyone in your sphere of influence will understand they're witnessing the hand of God moving on behalf of someone who carries heaven's official authorization. The sharp-witted, energetic approach they used initially, that was their authentic spiritual signature. But when they abandoned their own path to chase after yours, they forfeited their right to both. Now they're spiritually homeless, wandering between the power they couldn't steal and the power they threw away in pursuit of something that was never meant for them. But you, chosen one, you've been under divine surveillance this entire time, that protective presence that's been showing up consistently in your spiritual experiences. That's your assigned guardian, your cosmic bodyguard, your divine advocate who sees everything and records every attempt made against your spiritual integrity. This angel doesn't just protect passively. This is an active, aggressive guardian who treats threats against you as personal affronts to divine order. The report has already been filed. Every spell, every curse, every manipulation attempt has been documented and processed through cosmic justice systems that operate with efficiency that makes earthly courts look like kindergarten playgrounds. The sentence has been pronounced, the judgment executed, and the consequences are already manifesting in their lives with precision that leaves no room for coincidence. Here's something that will absolutely astound you about this cosmic justice system. It operates with perfect mathematical precision. For every dollar they gain through spiritual theft, they'll lose exactly 10. For every opportunity they stole from your energy field, they'll watch 10 opportunities slip through their fingers. For every relationship they influenced using traces of your magnetism, they'll experience 10 meaningful connections dissolve inexplicably. The universe doesn't just balance the scales, it overbalances them in favor of the innocent party. The most devastating aspect of their karmic education isn't what they're losing, it's what they're discovering about their own authentic power. After years of operating as spiritual parasites, they've completely forgotten how to generate their own success. They've become so dependent on stolen energy that when cosmic repossession begins, they're left spiritually naked, unable to attract even the most basic blessings through their own legitimate spiritual authority. They're about to discover that spiritual welfare creates addictive dependency that leaves its recipients weaker than they were before they started stealing. What you're experiencing now is the aftermath of divine intervention, the cleanup report, the spiritual audit that reveals just how protected you've been while going about your daily life completely unaware of the warfare being waged in invisible realms. This isn't the first time amateurs have targeted you, and it certainly won't be the last. But each failed attempt only serves to strengthen your spiritual immunity and amplify your divine favor. Think about the implications of this divine protection system. While you've been focused on your goals, your growth, your daily responsibilities, there have been invisible battles fought on your behalf in dimensions most people can't even imagine. Your guardian forces have been deflecting arrows you never saw coming, neutralizing threats you never knew existed, and turning every weapon formed against you into a weapon formed for you. This level of supernatural security doesn't happen by accident. It's reserved for souls who carry assignments that transcend personal success and impact universal purpose. The reason their attack felt so amateur, so ineffective, so spiritually lightweight, is because that's exactly what it was. When you're operating at Chosen One frequency, lower vibrational attacks can't penetrate your spiritual atmosphere. They bounce off like rubber balls hitting titanium. Their energy was so far beneath your spiritual altitude that their attempts actually looked comical from the divine perspective. What makes this protection even more remarkable is that it's not just defensive, it's offensive. Your spiritual security system doesn't just block attacks, it redirects that same energy back to its source with multiplied intensity. Every curse becomes a blessing boomerang. Every manipulation attempt becomes a manifestation accelerator. Every ritual performed against your success becomes a ritual performed for your elevation. This is quantum spiritual warfare, where chosen ones always win because they're fighting with weapons their enemies can't even see. Hey, this is Mike and Ari, cutting into your regularly scheduled Chosen One programming for just a moment. We are the founders of the Obsidian Inner Order and the Astral Atom Network, and we're done playing nice. We're in a spiritual war. You know it, we know it, we know it, and we're out here bleeding for this mission full time. I'm hungry for fourth dimensional Archon blood, but we need the ammunition, so listen. When you join the Inner Order, you're not just supporting us, you're getting access to exclusive tools they never wanted you to have. Psychic self-defense training, targeted individual intel, spiritual warfare tactics they scrub from the internet. And every week, we meet in secret, chosen ones only on Zoom. No filters, no fluff, just real gnosis, real family, real power. It's a 360-degree win. You get what you need, we get to keep fighting. So don't just watch. Drop a like, share this video to everyone you know now, and join the Obsidian Inner Order. Let's finish what we started. Link in the description. Let's freaking go. Think about a child trying to knock down a skyscraper with pebbles. That's what their spiritual assault looked like to the cosmic forces assigned to your protection. The angels weren't even concerned. They were probably entertained by the sheer audacity of such spiritual ignorance, attempting to challenge divine order. Here's where the story takes another incredible turn. Their failure doesn't just protect you, it educates the entire spiritual realm about the consequences of targeting chosen ones. Every demon, every lower vibrational entity, every amateur practitioner who might have been considering similar attacks just witnessed a masterclass in why you don't mess with divine purpose. Your protection becomes a warning to every other potential spiritual predator. The beautiful irony is that their attack has actually strengthened your spiritual reputation in realms they don't even know exist. Word travels fast in spiritual dimensions, and when amateurs get obliterated for targeting a chosen one, it sends ripples through the cosmic network that establish your spiritual credibility without you having to do anything except continue being authentically yourself. As this cosmic drama reaches its conclusion, you're about to witness the full manifestation of divine justice and personal elevation happening simultaneously. While they're dealing with the consequences of their spiritual stupidity, you're stepping into the very blessings they thought they could prevent or steal. The dream that was protected during their attack is about to unfold with such beauty and precision that you'll finally understand why the universe guarded it so carefully. This is your season, chosen one, not because you survived their attack, but because you were always destined for this elevation. Their failed attempt was just the cosmic alarm clock announcing that your time has arrived. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, and no amount of amateur-hour spirituality could derail what divine purpose has set in motion. So as you move forward into this new chapter of unprecedented favor and supernatural breakthrough, remember this story. Remember how the universe responded to threats against your destiny. Remember how quickly cosmic justice moved to protect your path. And remember that this level of divine protection doesn't happen for ordinary people. It happens for chosen ones who carry assignments that transcend personal success and touch the very fabric of universal purpose. The amateurs learned their lesson the hard way. The universe demonstrated its power through your protection, and you, chosen one, are about to discover just how magnificent your life becomes when divine favor operates without interference from spiritual wannabes who thought they could dim your light. The joke was on them all along, and the punchline is your unstoppable success.